the website www.gbn.gd. Those of you watching on GBN, channel 7, 11, and 20. And of course, the folks always listening to Classic 105 and Hot 98. Thank you once again for joining us. This morning, I have joining me virtually is the NDC caretaker for Carriacou and Petite Martinique Affairs, I go to say the Honorable Mr. Tevin Andrews. Well, I guess I could call you Honorable. And good morning, Mr. Andrews. How are you?
Good morning, my dear, and good morning to all the listeners of your To The Point program. I'm doing well, and how are you doing?
I'm doing well myself. Can't complain.
Excellent.
Nice.
Wonderful.
So let's get right into the discussion. I know we have a lot to deal with as it relates to these sister islands, but first let's deal with one of the current issues that has been affecting the entire world, COVID-19. When the pandemic started and Grenada started to take precautions to fight the virus, one of the measures that were taken was the closing of the borders from the sister isles and the mainland. So tell me about the focus on the sister isles, Carriacou, Petite Martinique, dealing with the pandemic and the things that needed to be put in place in the event that a virus, surfaced on the sister islands. What were the measures put in place, and do you think it was effective? Even though you didn't have a case, but do you think it would have been effective?
Well, one of the things, I'm very grateful, of course, to the fact that we don't have COVID, clinically, or based on what the science is telling us, or what the authorities are saying, we are COVID-free in Carriacou and Petite Martinique, and of course, Grenada on a whole now. And the fact that we had 22 cases in all, and we didn't have one single case in Carriacou and Petite Martinique says a lot. There are always things that the authorities could do to improve on preventing spread on the island of Carriacou and Petite Martinique. But the authorities must be commended for the approach it has taken with shutting down the borders. I've always been in support of it as it relates to closing of the borders from mainland. So kudos to the authorities for that. I've always been in support of that, and we should be very cautious in going forward. But this is just the first. This is the first wave. The first wave was a small wave, and we just got over it. We have to now brace ourselves for the second wave, which is inevitable. We need to prepare. What authorities need to do now is to look at ways and look at the shortcomings from the first wave, and put measures in place or strengthen measures so that you don't we ensure that we don't get any case come the second wave. My dear, one of the things is that I reached out to the Member of Parliament for Carriacou and Petite Martinique because I believe that we should be all in this together. I got in touch with her. I think it's a personal assistant and the public relations officer for the Ministry of Carriacou and Petite Martinique. I think he's also the public relations officer for the NNP party up here. I'm not too sure. And I'm still waiting on a response. My thing was for us to work together during this pandemic, brainstorm, come up with ideas to safeguard our people. As I said, it's the first wave. The government on the whole has done a good job. There are many things that could have been done differently, but they have done a good job, and give them that.
One of the other topics that have come as it relates to the sister islands, the moving of the Hillsborough jetty. That I have at least two people that usually tune into the program that has always spoken out about the issue. From your point of view, how is this affecting business on the sister islands?
I'm happy that you asked the question, my dear. Just last week, the business community had a meeting with the MP for Carriacou and Petite Martinique about the said matter, moving up the Hillsborough jet port. And one of the things that they spoke about is how this move is affecting their businesses. And not just the business community of Carriacou and Petite Martinique is affected, but the whole of Carriacou and Petite Martinique are affected. More so Petite Martinique, and of the villages on the outer skirts like the Windward, Mount Pleasant, and so are very much affected as a result of that. But back on the business community, they are affected. They had this meeting with the MP, and they were very disappointed in the tone of the MP and the manner in terms of how the meeting has ended, and they have not gotten satisfaction. The point is, the government sold the idea of the moving of the Hillsborough port to Harveyville as being that there will be more space. We would get container ships coming to Carriacou. We would get cruise ships and so on coming to Carriacou, because it will be bigger, it will be better, the depth of it will be deeper, so that we could handle those big ships and so on coming in to our harbor. None of which is presently taking place. The only difference is that there is a lot of space, and it's a beautiful facility, don't get me wrong, but what is the space all about? Because container ship can't come in, there's the cruise ship can't come in, so you just have a big space there, beautiful building that is greatly underused. And now I heard Mr. Evans refuting some claims, saying that the Hillsborough port is not up for sale, and it's not up for sale, and it has not been sold. But there are plans to develop the jetty and the warehouse. Well, my thing is, Mr. Evans, why spend over $6 million to do this development in Tyrrell Bay, when you could have just developed the Hillsborough port, bigger and better? It doesn't make sense. So it says a lot. It says, one, we should not continue to allow a group of fellas and a group of people in Grenada making decisions for the people of Carriacou and Petite Martinique. Because at the end of the day, we, the people of Carriacou and Petite Martinique, are the ones to live with the bad decisions that the folks in Grenada makes. That is the importance of having a county council, local government. We, the people, making the decisions for ourselves. Secondly, on the Hillsborough jetty port, the authorities keep saying that a feasibility study was done, some report was done, and it says that as a result of the structure is weak, it's a time bomb waiting to happen, and as a result of that, we have to move the operations to Tyrrell Bay. The question was posed to the MP in the meeting last Tuesday. The MP said, yes, there is a report. I saw the documents, and it's a damning document, and good people who conducted the report and all of that, and it says that the jetty is not structurally sound and blah, whatever the case may be. So the business community said, well, if that's the case, can you show us, can you give us a copy of this report? The MP said, no, it is not for public consumption. It's not our business. So the gross disrespect that the people continue to face by our elected officials. You are telling us that a report was done. In the report, it said that the jetty is a time bomb waiting to happen and that we have to move. The people are demanding, well, show us the report. Although even the port has already moved and all of that, show us the report. You're saying, no, that is none of our business. The fact is, my dear, from the get-go, no report was done. The move to Harveyville was a political move. It was to put some monies in the hands of a few individuals so some politicians can get some sort of kickback. There have not been any major improvements in terms of the port operations. Nothing has changed, really. We have a much more beautiful building and much more space, but a building that is grossly underused and space that is not being utilized at all. So it is very sad. I want to take this opportunity to challenge the Member of Parliament for Carriacou and Petite Martinique, Martine Stewart, to make whatever reports they claim that has taken place to the public. If a report was done, whatever study was done, it meant that taxpayers' monies are the ones who paid for it. We, the people, paid for it. So we demand the report to be made. We demand that the report be made public to the people of Carriacou and Petite Martinique and to the world by extension.
How are you so sure that this study was not done?
If the study was done, my dear, that study report would have been made to the public a long time ago.
You sure?
Why would you want to hide? Why would an elected official want to hide something like that to the public? It's dangerous. A report was done, show the public. Why are you hiding? I am sure, based on information that I have, that no study was done.
Okay. So moving the jetty to Harvey Vale, which the business community in Hillsborough has said it has affected them. Do you think it was in an effort by the authorities to spread economic activity and take it out from Hillsborough itself and ensure that there are other communities in Carriacou that can benefit from economic activity?
But why stifle? Why kill a strive? Why stifle one to make the other grow? It doesn't make sense. If you want to spread economic activities, then build on what you have. Develop an area, but don't kill Hillsborough. Maybe what they could have done, leave the Hillsborough jetty so that passenger boats like the Osprey, the yachts,
Amelia.
Well, maybe not the Amelia. Amelia is more cargo.
Dolly C.
The folks that come from Union Island and what have you come to Hillsborough, and the cargo boats and so on go to down to Tyrrell Bay. That is what could have happened, you know. But when decisions, the problem that the point I'm trying to get across here is that decisions are continued to be made over and over by a group of men and women in Grenada for the people of Carriacou and Petite Martinique. The folks in Grenada don't have as much interest of Carriacou and Petite Martinique than we that live here. So those people should not be making decisions on our behalf. They come to Carriacou, they make the decisions already, and they come and they say, let us consult. Let us consult before you make a decision already. We, the people, should be making our own decisions as to what should be where and how something should be done. We are the ones that have to live with it. I am sick and tired as a young person, as a Carriacou and Petite Martinican, seeing decisions, countless decisions being made without our involvement. You look at the decision as it relates to building that stadium in Lawrencetown. As a result of that, the airport cannot be expanded. You look at the decision in moving the Hillsborough market from where it was, and look at what the Hillsborough market is today. People go there to sell their clothes and other things. It's not fulfilling its intended purpose. And several other decisions are continuously being made by Grenada for the people, and we are not being consulted. We are not the ones that are seeing how things should go. But the people of Carriacou and Petite Martinique are the ones to be held responsible as well. Because over the years, 20-odd years, we continue to elect the same set of people that continues to disrespect us over and over. And then we complain about it. This Hillsborough jetty issue, I have been talking about this for years, even before the move. And some people say, well, Brother Tevin, what are you going on with? Now the same business people are now calling on me and say, Brother Tevin, we need to have a meeting. We need to say something. The move has already been made. You know?
In addition to the issues with moving the jetty, what were some of the other issues raised by residents on the Sister Isles when they had the meeting with the MP last week?
Several questions were asked in terms of, okay, well, it has been moved. What can we do to stimulate economic activities? And that was laughable when I heard the MP's response. The MP say, well, we need more street lights in the town. We need to do more street naming in the town of Hillsborough. We need more chill spots and so on. And I thought, well, this is a kindergarten child answered. You know, I thought that, you know, if you want, the move has already been made, whether we like it or not. We need to find ways to stimulate economic activities in the tongue of Hillsborough. And one of the sure ways of stimulating economic activities in the tongue of Hillsborough is to develop that jetty so that the boats, like the passenger boats, can come back to Hillsborough. We need to have a serious conversation with the businessmen and women of Hillsborough and come up with creative ideas that can foster economic growth. What governments need to do is to create that enabling environment whereby those economic growth could take off. That is what is needed at this time. I also believe, my dear, that there must be a council for the tongue of Hillsborough. And that council should determine what sort of activities, economic activities, or what sort of things take place in the tongue or not take place in the tongue. And if that council was there from the get-go, this port moving to Harveyville would have never taken place. So to prevent things like that from happening again, and to start some sort of economic life, to pump some sort of economic life into the tongue of Hillsborough, you need a council for the tongue of Hillsborough. And that council should comprise of mainly the businessmen and women of Carriacou and Petite Martinique, and get the diaspora on board. There are many folks from Carriacou and Petite Martinique that are living in the diaspora that have brilliant ideas. Get them involved in that process so that we can get not just the tongue of Hillsborough moving, but the economy of Carriacou and Petite Martinique going. That is what we need, because politicians could lie for you and make you believe that they have all the answers. I, for one, I don't have all the answers, but I know in order to get anything moving, and in this case, Carriacou and Petite Martinique moving, we need people involvement.
What needs to happen for that to happen, for the establishment of a community or a body that can help stimulate that development on the sister islands? What needs to take place?
We need to ensure that we elect individuals who have the interest of not just their constituency at heart, but the people at heart. And it is easy to identify those people. You need to identify people that are fearless and bold, not being afraid to challenge the status quo. Because in some cases, the member of parliament may want to try something, but she's afraid of the boss. I am not afraid of anybody. I believe if I am elected, my interest is not the boss. My interest is the people. I'm the member of parliament for you, the people. So that's what needs to happen. You need fearless people. You need people that are concerned about the people's development and concerned about their constituency. We have too much of time we just get political people, NNP, NDC. Forget about this thing. We need people that are concerned about their constituency and want to develop their constituency, not just by talk, but by action, consistent actions.
Earlier we also briefly mentioned COVID-19 pandemic and economic activity. Looking at the economic activity, what about the payroll support for residents on the sister isles? I remember one case comes to mind of the owners publicly stating that they have not been able to benefit from the payout. What are some of the other reports coming out of the sister isles?
It is sad. It is sad. I mean, I have a good relationship with most of the business people, with all of the business people in Carriacou and Petite Martinique. And what you're hearing, even up to this morning, they are yet to receive, and I'm talking specifically here now to the tourism affected businesses, are yet to receive their payroll support. Even if they are qualified and it was approved, they are yet to receive the payroll support. And the other businesses are also yet to receive anything from the stimulus package. I'm speaking here specifically for Carriacou and Petite Martinique. It is rather disturbing. And there are some businesses that might have received, but only received for 1 month. They only received for 1 month. What is happening here? You know, if we are truly concerned about getting the economy moving again, I'm not an economist, by the way, but if we are concerned about getting the economy moving again, we need to help we need to help our own. We need to help the small man. Because the small businesses are the ones that get the economy rolling. So I am pleading with the authorities, to do something about the situation here in Carriacou and Petite Martinique, and by extension Grenada. Too many of our businesses are yet to receive their payroll support or any support at all, and too many of our businesses have only received one payment. It is not fair, it is not right, and something needs to be done about it. Where did the money go? Where the money gone?
It is my understanding that some of the businesses have not met the requirements to receive the payout, whether it's from NIS or government. Have you had that report as well?
I'm talking here about businesses that were given the approval, the green light from the team, and some businesses who have received only one payment. I'm not talking about businesses that haven't met the requirements. I'm talking here specifically about businesses who have met the requirement, who have gotten a phone call from Ms. Andrew, the department, the folks in the department saying your thing has been approved, and they are still awaiting. And there are also big businesses, big hotels and other restaurants and so on across the state that are in similar situation. But my thing here is for the people of Carriacou and Petite Martinique, and of course by extension the people of Grenada. But we need to do something about it.
But there are businesses who have not met the requirement, yes?
There are some businesses that have not met the requirement. That's a fact, undisputed. But I am not talking here about the businesses that have not met the requirements. I'm talking here specifically of the businesses that met the requirements, have not gotten any monies whatsoever, and businesses that have met the requirement and only received one payment, and they're supposed to get 3 or so payments.
Understood. Let's now talk about the special project funds that the representatives around the island get. Specifically, let's deal with Carriacou. How is that fund benefiting Carriacou and Petite Martinique? Is it benefiting?
Well, it's not benefiting, as far as I'm concerned, it's not benefiting Carriacou and Petite Martinique based on what I'm seeing, based on reports that I've received, and based on, It's rather unfortunate that every month, the members of parliament get $15,000, if I'm not mistaken. Maybe it's even 20, but what I know is 15,000. And a situation arose sometime last year, or even the year before. I got a report that the government is building a retaining wall for someone in Petite Martinique. Government building retaining wall for people in a private yard. Couldn't believe it. So I did some investigation. I got nowhere. And I left it at that because people were reluctant to give information, and you can't get information in Grenada so easy. That's a fact. It happened again sometime last year in Carriacou, close to our party office in Carriacou. Private individuals, government building a wall for them, fencing wall. I said, that's strange. The people are well-known supporters of the government. I said, why would the government take my hard-earned taxpayer money, our taxpayers' dollars, and building private walls and fences for people? This is unheard of. So I called up the relevant Ministry of Works to find out if government is in the business of building walls and fences for people. I want my share. And they say, well, that is not the case. They've never heard of that, and if that's happening, it's wrong. And sometime this year, a similar thing happened where the government, the member of parliament, is building a fencing wall for a private individual and claim it to be a drain. My dear, when you go down to the people's yard, it's clearly not a drain. It is a fence wall. And because we talked about it, they halt the project. But the foundation of the walls and everything has already gone up. This is the most expensive part of the project. So all the people need to do now is just to go up. That is not right. This is taxpayers' dollars. This nonsense have to stop in Grenada. Not because you support the government means that government should be abusing the tax dollars, the scarce resources of the country, to be doing nonsense like that for cheap political mileage. This needs to stop. So I'm exposing Matrin Stewart today, and I want her to come out and defend it, because it is not the first, it's not the second, it's the third that we know of. And it needs to stop. Taxpayers' dollars should not be wasted in those manner. And if you know, the people that she's doing it for is in charge of the electoral office here in Carriacou. The person she's doing it for right now is in charge of the electoral office here in Carriacou. That same individual who's in charge of the electoral office in Carriacou goes into the electoral office in Carriacou in very strange hours in the morning. I spoke about this matter on length several occasions. I've even raised it with not the supervisor of the election, but Ms. Holder, Judith Holder, on several occasions. I could never get in touch with the supervisor of elections. Those things, some strange things are happening in the constituency of Carriacou and Petite Martinique, but I am watching it. And very soon, if I need to protest, I'll protest. Even though if I have to lie down in the middle of the road for actions to be taken, I will do so. Those things are wrong and it needs to be addressed.
What proof do you have that it is the Special Project Fund that is funding those backwall projects?
Let the MP, let the Ministry of Carriacou come out and defend it. I don't have to give me proof, because if I give me proof, people will be victimized.
No, don't give your proof, but you have proof. In case they bring it to court, you have proof.
I have proof, and she likes to take people to court, so bring it on.
Lord, just don't bring me in the court with you as well.
No. You haven't made any statement.
Okay.
And GBN haven't made any statement. And the views expressed on this medium is my view,
So
not of GBN.
Fair enough. All right, let's take a break and then we're going to come back and continue the conversation. We're speaking with the NDC caretaker for Carriacou and Petite Martinique, Tevin Andrews. We're going to take a quick break, pay some bills, and then we'll be right back. Stay with us.
Greetings, everyone. I hope this message meets you and yours in the best of health as we join in encouraging all to act responsibly.
COVID-19 presents the most serious
and deadly challenge
any of us will experience in our lifetimes.
We must act now.
We need to keep the Caribbean safe.
We can all help to stop the spread of the coronavirus. Please stay at home.
So Caribbean people, please stay home.
Caribbean people, please stay at home.
Please stay home. It's that simple. This too shall pass, but for now, stay home.
Stay in your yard. Stay home, stay safe.
Let's Cook Tuesdays at 8 with a rebroadcast every Thursday at 10.
The following are a list of food items to have on hand amidst COVID-19. Perishables like vegetables, fruits, provisions, and eggs. You are advised to stock perishable items to last up to 2 weeks. Non-perishable items including dry goods like cereals, flour, cornmeal, oats, rice, pasta, nuts and nut butters like peanut butter, crackers, canned or frozen meats, ready-to-eat canned meats, powdered or canned milk, dried peas and beans, canned fruits in natural juices, 100% canned fruit juices, and canned vegetables. You can stock non-perishable food items to last up to 1 month. Store bottled or clean drinking water, 1 gallon or more per day per person. If you suffer from a medical condition, have prescribed medications on hand. A message from the Grenada Food and Nutrition Council as we battle COVID-19.
Welcome back to The Point. We're speaking with NDC Caretaker for Carriacou and Petite Martinique, Tevin Andrews. It is now time to open the phone lines for the questions, queries, comments, concerns you may have for Mr. Andrews. 435-2041, that's the landline number. You can also WhatsApp us the question that you may have. Please only written messages on the WhatsApp. You can also post your questions, comments, queries, concerns on the GBN Television Facebook page and the Grenada Broadcasting Network's YouTube channel. To those of you calling, if you can please keep those questions, comments, queries, concerns to 1 minute, 2 minutes for the most, 1 minute. 1 minute or less so we can facilitate as many as we possibly can this morning. Before we go to the phone lines, let me ask a question that I saw on the WhatsApp, on the Facebook. Mr. Andrews, if you were to grade the representation Carriacou and Petite Martinique has currently, what number would it be on a scale of 1 to 10, 1 being poor, 10 being perfect?
Well, I mean, I think it's rather unfair to ask me that question because based on I'm very objective and I try to be very balanced, because when the MP does good, I say that she does good. And when she does bad, I call she out. I say it as well. There are some things that she do that she must be commended for. Likewise, when she see her do some things good, sometimes she say I do good too. But overall, in terms of what a member of parliament is supposed to do in terms of representing the constituency, she is lacking badly. She's lacking badly. It's rather unfortunate. Carriacou and Petite Martinique, there's no leadership in Carriacou. No leadership in Carriacou and Petite Martinique, you know. No leadership.
So a 5?
No, below 5, in my view.
Okay.
I mean, but I think it's unfair to ask me that. I think the question should be posed really to the people of Carriacou and Petite Martinique, and they'll give you their honest opinion.
Okay. Let's go to the phone lines. Good morning.
Mr. Andrew, I would like to ask, what is the true status, the real status of the boat building industry in Carriacou right now? And secondly, years ago as a Grenadian, I knew lots of peanuts used to come from Carriacou. What is the status of that? Because I find we consume so much peanuts in this country. Couldn't that help our economy? Thank you.
Thank you, caller.
I didn't get the first question clearly, but with regards to the second question with the peanut, sometime last year, before this COVID came about, I met with some peanut farmers in Carriacou. One, Mr. Alexis from Harveyville, and the other, I wish not to call his name because I wasn't given permission. We talked about a program which we want to start. We're now in the process of looking for lands to do some peanut production in Carriacou, just for the consumption of the people of Carriacou and Petite Martinique. And when it gets larger, we'll see how we can extend it to Grenada and maybe the outer world. But if I were to become member of parliament, that will be a focus, that will be a main focus, seeing how we can revitalize the economy of Carriacou and Petite Martinique, agriculture sector in particular. And peanut will be an area of focus. When I look at we importing peanut from St. Vincent and paying all this money for peanut in St. Vincent, we can be doing the same. Our peanut is way better. So I would really like to see that industry starting to come back again. And I believe that there is some potential there to make some monies, to make some money and to create employment opportunities. Yeah.
The first part of the question asked about the current, the boat building industry in Carriacou, how vital it is now, or active it is now.
Boat building, it's a tradition, unfortunately, that is, it is slowly dying. There are some young people that are involved in it, a few, maybe one or two, but it is an industry that is slowly dying because what used to happen in the past is not happening before in terms of people building boats for racing and so forth in Carriacou for the regatta festival, and so that is no longer happening. And people are now moving towards the traditional, not the traditional, but the other types of boats, and no longer the traditional type of boats. So it is an industry that is dying, rather unfortunate. So that is something that we need to see how we can revitalize that sector. Government come, government go. Politicians come, politicians go. And all of us keep talking about we need to revitalize the boat building industry in Carriacou. We need to revitalize it. There's words talk. But I believe it's something that needs to be done. I don't have all the answers for it. There are shipwrights in Carriacou and Petite Martinique who have brilliant ideas in terms of what we can do to get the industry going again. This is something that I plan to have a series of meetings to the build up of the election to put a plan of action in place. And we have already started. And so that is something that we need to sit down and have a conversation about with the boat building industry, boat building people in Carriacou and Petite Martinique to see what could be done to get this industry moving. I believe in the boat building industry, and I think it's something that we need to keep alive. And it has great, great economic benefits from that, not only for the people that are involved, but Carriacou and Petite Martinique on a whole.
Let's go back to the phone lines. Good morning.
Morning. Blossom, you know the first question you asked Tevin. Do you expect him to give you a fair and balanced answer?
Yes. Okay. It's a question that was posed, so I asked the question. Anyway, there is another one on the Facebook. Mr. Andrews, it's not correct to say that Grenadians are making decisions for Carriacou. There is a minister for Carriacou and Petite Martinique who is part of government, and she's part of the decision-making process.
Making a decision for you have a flow mat as a minister for Carriacou and Petite Martinique. No disrespect intended, and I'm not just referring here to Minister Stewart. Over the years, consistently, what we had for Carriacou and Petite Martinique are flow mats. And there have been some excellent people who have represented Carriacou and Petite Martinique. Don't take my comment wrong. Some excellent statesmen and women who represented the island with dignity and pride and have done wonders. But what we have now passing as parliamentary representatives and ministers are flow mats. That's what it is. So the decisions that are continuously made for Carriacou, that are continuously made as it relates to Carriacou and Petite Martinique, are done by the Grenadians. The Grenadians decide whether or not we get an extra machine today or not. The Grenadians decide we got an extra machine for Carriacou, and the Grenadians decide they're taking it down to Grenada. We train some folks to be ultrasound technicians and what have you. They bring them down to Grenada. That is the reality. The decisions that are made, look at the port, look at everything that is happening in Carriacou. The decisions are made by Grenada. It is time for local government. It is time for us to be making our decisions. I mean, I respect the Grenadians. I'm a Grenadian. We are all Grenadians. I respect the motherland. But I think it is time that we treat the islands of Carriacou and Petite Martinique with the respect that we deserve. And we need to start making our own decisions as it relates to, how we move forward. We can't continue to be people to be making decisions for us, and then we have to sit down in the mess that you create and deal with it. No. I don't agree. And this is one of the, I've told my team and the leadership, this is something that we need to change. It has to change. I don't intend to be no government minister. I intend to be a parliamentary representative to represent the interests of the people. I'm not so interested about minister this and minister. I'm interested in being parliamentary rep to represent the people. And that's what I intend to do. And whether it means disagreeing on certain things here and there to ensure that the people of Carriacou and Petite Martinique gets what we deserve, that is what I intend to do. And I've already started.
There's another one on Facebook. We heard that a businessman in Carriacou denied the stimulus package for hotels and resorts after he met the requirements, or that he was denied after he met the requirements as by the government, and also deprived the workers who work at that establishment their money. Have you heard of that as well?
Yeah, they're talking. Well, there are several businessmen. I know of two Mr. Mills who have been denied, but I think they're talking about Kimberly Mills in this case. Kim Mills was denied, said that he didn't meet the requirement, and then he has a radio station, and then he speak out about the matter. He speak out about the matter, and then he got a call and say, "My brother, you're qualified. You're not qualified for the thing." So, so that is. But he's yet to receive anything, as far as I'm concerned. As far as this morning, I am not too sure if he has received anything, but when we had a chat not too long ago, he didn't receive nothing. But it is sad that it is, again, you see the point? We have a minister of Carriacou and Petite Martinique. You have a ministry of Carriacou and Petite Martinique. And yet, the minister and the ministry cannot facilitate the plight. In this case, the packages that the people need to receive. We have to, the people have to go fill a form and go through to Grenada, and Grenada have all these people who have to deal with all of this. What's the purpose of the ministry then? What's the purpose of the minister? You know, it doesn't add up. If you have a ministry and a minister for Carriacou and Petite Martinique, let them deal with the applications from Carriacou and to see what they can do to fast track what should be given to the business people up here. That's how I see it. But that is not what is happening. So I feel it for the folks at the revenue office that has to deal with this situation. They're overworked. It's a small thing. They're overworked. I believe that the monies are finished. So I feel sorry for them, but the business people and the people need their funds, especially the employees, the unemployment benefit from the NIS. The employees need their money. Plus, my dear, there are people who have not received any salaries for going on 3 months now. Nothing. They have the bills to pay. Land. They have rent. They have the light bill and the water bill. They have children to feed. This is not an easy and joking manner, you know. This is serious things. You see, the prime minister and the minister, this and the minister that wouldn't be affected. They get their money where they're getting their money. So they're not affected. So they don't understand the genuine plight of the people. On top of that, a lot of people are unemployed. Just think about the pressure that so many young people are under, and the mothers and fathers are under, the single parents are under. And take that into consideration that they're not working. They have not earned anything for 3 months now. They were promised to given some sort of unemployment benefit, and nothing up to this day. The prime minister needs to stop, playing with people's emotions. What this government is doing is playing with people's emotions. It's not right. And I'm wondering if all of this hardship is connected to the high number of suicides that is taking place in Grenada. I'm concerned about it. I am feeling stressed in terms of the whole COVID situation. But think about the others who is in 10 times worse situation than me. It's not an easy time for a lot of Grenadians, and we need to ensure that things are put in place to help our brothers and sisters that are going through this hardship. So NIS, we need to do more to fast track the unemployment benefits, and to the folks at the who's supposed to be in charge of the stimulus package, we need to fast track in giving the businesses the support that they need. Oh my goodness. The businesses are struggling. If we really want the economy to go in, help the small businesses, help the small people. We, the small people, are the ones that get the thing moving. We're the movers and shakers of the economy.
Back to the phone, and then I'm going to get to WhatsApp. Good morning.
Good morning, Blossom. And good morning to our sister Alberta, Tevin Andrew. I just want to say how much I admire your aggressive nature, your hard work. I realize that you're 13. Calm down. We love you. This is the vegetable lady from St. Andrews. We just want you to take time off and give us a wave and know that we love you. To all the young, hard-working members of the NDC, Brother Ron, and all the others that are not there, we speak on your behalf. We say continue to do what you do. One of our brothers lost their dad during the time of COVID, and we couldn't go out to sympathize as we usually do. We just want to say be strong, and God is with you. And Tevin, I know that you're on the go, and you're always there with the people. Continue to do the hard work, and one day you will be where you want to be. Have a blessed day, and thank you.
Thank you very much, caller.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, my dear sister.
There's a question on the WhatsApp. Somebody has asked me to ask you about the Chinese project in Dumfries.
Hold on. What I would say about that, but I got in trouble, Blossom, I got in trouble for that, I remember speaking about, and this is the first time I'm speaking about it, some members of my political organization wouldn't like it, but say what? The people must know what's happening. I spoke extensively on matters of the Chinese involvement in Grenada. And I'm not against any government, or I'm not a racist, but I believe that there is need for transparency and accountability. And I have a problem with our government as it relates to getting gifts, as they claim, gifts or grants or what have you from countries that are our friends, they say. We need to know what are the fine prints. So I got in trouble. I remember I spoke about it, and the Chinese ambassador wanted to meet with me to know what I'm talking about. But when I told my constituents about it, the constituency group, I said, well, the Chinese ambassador wanted to meet with me, to talk about the matter. People say, well, no, you ain't going to meet no Chinese ambassador. So I had to say, well, listen, I'm sorry. The people said they don't want to meet with you. But that caused some controversy. But I just thought I should highlight that. So if I get summoned again by the Chinese, you would have caused that.
Just remember to use the word allegedly. Go on.
No, I not to use no allegedly here. I'm speaking with some authority on some matters. The issue with the Dumfries thing, again, involvement of the people. We appreciate the gesture from the Chinese. We appreciate it. We want to know why we were not involved in what was taking place in Dumfries. All we know, housing scheme coming and they're billing it. No input from the folks in Carriacou. Hardly any locals worked down there. The business people didn't really benefit in terms of the materials and so forth. I'm concerned about that. If some building is being put down in your constituency or in your country, you would expect that the local builders, architects, what have you, going to be employed. You expect that your local hardware and so forth will get some sort of sale or whatever the case. And that has not taken place. I'm concerned about all that's taking place is that the roads have been mashed up by the big trucks and so. So we appreciate the gift. They say it's a gift, so we appreciate the gift. What we wanted was that the gift we should have been involved, and the houses should not have been built the way in which they were built. We could have given input in how probably architectural advice or input, and we could have built the houses according to our liking and our style. But we appreciate the gift. What we want to know, what are the fine prints of the deals being made with the government and the Chinese? So we appreciate it, but we want to know, what is the fine prints? Is it really a gift? What are the terms and conditions of the housing scheme? We don't know all of those things. Another concern that we have is that the materials that are used in those projects are inferior materials. So in some cases, and it's not from Grenada. So in a lot of cases, what happened in Mongué and other places, we need to learn from it. When a plumbing goes bad, you have to report the whole toilet. You have to report the whole sink or whatever you, and because you can't find the types of pipes and so on here for it. You have to rip all of it out and putting new things. So we need to learn from those mistakes. But as I said, we appreciate it, but we need to know the terms and conditions.
And the Bella Road leading to the hospital.
Lord God. I know if it's break up creeks or what, Blossom, but it's something that needs to be addressed. Member of Parliament and Minister of Carriacou and Petite Martinique, to me, instead of building private walls for people, that is where the money should be spent. Private road, they're going so far and building private roads for people, leading right up in people's yard. The only person living there, they build a road right up to the people's yard. And you have major and important roads to be built, such as the Belle Road that leads to our hospital. And it is, I don't know, the drive up there, I don't know if you have ever experienced the roughness of Kikamjini. The drive up there on that road is 10 times worse than Kikamjini when it's kicking. So that is the situation. So just imagine you're in pain, heading to the hospital, in the ambulance or in a vehicle, and you're driving on that road. It's terrible. So it's a road that needs it needs attention badly. It was done during, I think, since 95 or 93, somewhere around there. So it is time that we do something about it. Again, Blossom, it's not just building roads. It's about maintaining roads. And it's about building roads with the future in mind. That road is a very narrow road. When we build, we must take the future in consideration. So we must build wider, because you just now Tevin go a vehicle and Huda go a vehicle, and back then it's only 20 or so people that had vehicles. Now almost every household have a vehicle. So we need to build with the future in mind, so we build, and we also need to find the right people to build the road so that it lasts longer, not 2 years down the road and the road mash up. And we need to build with a plan so that there ought to be maintenance of our roads and drains and any public buildings. Because to build a road for millions of dollars, not maintain it, and then you have to go and build a new one again, to me that's wastage. Maintain, build with a plan and maintain.
The current situation of the T.A. Marichaud Community College, the building that houses that school. I've had somebody call twice, really speaking out. He was very passionate about the condition of the building.
Yes. Yes, my dear. I spoke on the matter so much of times. I mean, you can literally stay outside and look inside the building. That's how badly the building is cracked up. I mean, I'm not an engineer, so I mean, I'm only speculating. The building might be not be structurally sound. Badly cracks, not one crack, but the whole building is cracked here, there, and everywhere. And I am concerned. I spoke on the matter. The Minister for Tertiary Education came up here, Delma Thomas. Sorry, not Delma, sorry. My apologies.
Mrs.
Pamela Moses came here, looked at it, and promised that something is going to be done about it. And years and months later, almost going on a year, nothing, not a word on the matter. Only those government ministers and them, they think they could fool people, I'd say they keep playing with people's emotion. When they come to Carriacou, only sweet talk. I love the people at Carriacou. We're going to do this. We're going to do that. And as they turn their back, they say, all the foolish people, go away. It needs to stop. And that is why it is important that we have proper representation. That is why it is important that you get proper representatives to fight for you and to defend you and to stand up for you. What we have now of domats and flomats who ain't care one iota about you and your concerns. So the TAM-CC school campus in Carriacou is a cause of concern. That one building in particular, where the children the teaching area, it needs to be looked into. It really needs to be looked into. And we need to stop being a reactionary people. We wait until the building fall on people and say, oh God, we could have done something. No, let us try and do something about it now.
Final question this morning. Can you list 2 positive things you've seen that the government has done for the Sister Isles of Carriacou and Petite Martinique?
2 positive things that they have done for the Sister Isles of Carriacou and Petite Martinique. What a hard question. Positive things that they have done for the Sister Isles of Carriacou and Petite Martinique. Ugh.
It can't be that bad, man.
Somebody hold me and you catch me on that one day, man.
It's a WhatsApp question, not me.
Yeah, I'm really thinking.
While moving the jetty may be a bad thing for the businessmen, do you see positivity in that? At least for Harvey Vale.
I'm a Harvey Vale man, eh? And if a Harvey Vale man could tell you, we appreciate it, but too much of people are affected. I can't. If the majority of people are affected, I can't say it's a positive thing.
So you can't find one positive thing that government has done.
Listen, you should know me. I mean, people who really knows me. I don't find it very difficult to answer any question. But this is a very difficult question. A question. One positive thing, Okay, one positive thing I can see, they put a PS in charge of local government. But then on the flip side of that...
No, don't look at the flip side. Don't look at the flip side.
No, but the flip side is that nothing is happening there. Nothing is happening in local government. You see, I cannot be dishonest. You see, my mother's spicy grew us up in such a way, and if you know Shortbury, you know the same. People call us arrogant and whatever. But we learn to speak the truth. I can't see something. I cannot be dishonest, to be quite honest with you. I cannot be dishonest. There are a lot to be desired with what is happening in Carriacou and Petite Martinique. I have not seen anything good. Good. I have not seen anything good.
But you did say the building where the new jetty is pretty.
Yes, it's a fact. But is it serving its intended purpose? We need to look at the pros and cons. I wouldn't be a hypocrite and say yes, it's good. To leave that impression there, we need to be honest and say what is happening here.
I'm really trying to see if I could juke you to get a positive something, but we're running out of time.
You know, one positive thing I heard is that we're going to have an extreme machine in Carriacou. That's a positive.
Okay.
Yeah, I heard it, so I don't know if it's actually going to be fulfilled because we heard so many things and it has not been fulfilled. Listen, positive thing about Carriacou in general is that Carriacou is a beautiful place. Carriacou is an island that has a lot of history. You know, on Saturday, my walking partner and I, we decided we're going to hike. And we went to a beautiful place in Petite Carriacou. It is a bird watch. First time I'm going there. It's a beautiful place. Bird watch, you're watching the birds, you can see Petite Martinique, you see Union Island, you can see all over. Beautiful, beautiful place. I want to encourage the people of Carriacou and Petite Martinique to explore Carriacou and Petite Martinique. We are blessed in Carriacou and Petite Martinique, you know. We are living in heaven, literally. It's a beautiful island, beautiful, beautiful island. Explore Carriacou, explore your home. I want to encourage you, those of you in Grenada, to come up, blossom, come to Carriacou and explore.
Yeah, it's been a while.
Come and enjoy the beautiful sceneries of Carriacou and Petite Martinique.
It's been a while since I've been on the Sister Isles. But I'll be there soon. Don't worry, soon.
Good. Come up and make sure you follow the COVID regulation.
Of course.
Wear your mask.
Of course.
6 feet distance, all of that. You know, we want to keep Carriacou COVID free. So you know we need to do that.
Of course.
You know, the next time you invite me on, I'm going to look. I am going to do some investigation to find out what are some of the positives.
Yes.
You know, from the government. I'm not saying that there isn't any.
They just don't come to mind now.
Time, it can't come to mind.
Okay, don't worry. Next time we'll look at the positives.
I'll look at the positive. So I'm making it clear. I'm not saying that there is no positive. Don't get me wrong. But all your boy Tevin can't really think about anything at the moment. This is the honest truth. Lord have mercy.
Don't worry.
Hold me on that.
Next time you're back on the program, I'm sure you'll give me about 10.
Oh, well, okay. I hear you.
Thank you very much, Tevin, for being our guest this morning. Continue to stay safe and do what you need to continue working with the people of Carriacou and Petite Martinique.
Thank you very much, my dear.
Have a good day.
You too. Bye-bye.
That was NDC caretaker for Carriacou and Petite Martinique, Mr. Tevin Andrews. We thank him for being our guest this morning and sharing his thoughts on some of the issues on the Sister Isles. That's the end of my time and the end of the program this morning. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. Those of you who posed your questions, comments, queries, concerns, appreciate your participation. Have yourselves a productive Tuesday. Joseph is up next with Mid-Morning Buzz. He'll take you through midday. Bye-bye, everybody.